Hello Yelena, could you please tell us a little bit more about the concept of the STEM school?
So the summer school was already planned in the project proposal of this 3-year-long project, and then there were just the sort of general things what we want to achieve with this. The idea was to have it as a place where we will actually showcase some of the materials created during the project, and since the learning content created through these 3 years has transformed a bit from our initial ideas, and as it was getting its final shape, we realized that the best thing is to try and use some of our materials to have a sort of blended structure, but also try and really showcase the method which we use to create these materials. So as other people have perhaps presented, in this project we created learning blocks, and these learning blocks, they're quite vast. They go from around 3 ECTS to 6 ECTS, so that's quite a lot of work. Our summer school was just a week long. And so we decided then to take bits and pieces of this material and then show the modularity of it, because that's one of the characteristics of the materials that we created. And then we, once we knew which trainers will be at the summer school, decided to have a general introduction, which would introduce the students into the transversal skills that we have in our learning materials, and then to divide them into tracks based on the expertise of the trainers coming here. And then the students worked in parallel tracks on very applied projects, and through this project learning they created really great presentations, which we saw yesterday. Yes. And then they sort of had a general wrap-up.
Yes.
So what does it mean for you being here in Petnica as part of the UPSKILLS project?
For me, it means coming back to the place where I first encountered science and real active doing of science, what it means to do science, and to a place which pretty much determined my career later.
What role did Petnica play in your academic career?
Well, on the one hand, it helped me learn to think out of the box, because it was a very alternative place at the time, totally different from regular schools. And on the other hand, it also let me get to know the contemporary theories of linguistics, which for me were quite a discovery at the time.
So during the summer school, did you encounter some challenges that you don't normally encounter in your regular classes?
Well, I think the main challenge was the fact that our students came from different universities with different backgrounds and different levels of training, and that we had to make sure that all of these students would be able to work together and blend together in order to produce some kind of interesting output in the end.
And how did you overcome these challenges?
Well, I think it kind of came relatively naturally. First of all, we did a bit of ice-breaking exercises, but then the students spontaneously worked with each other, the more advanced ones helping the ones we had a bit of problems. And I think it all worked very well, because everybody was really willing to get into the same projects.
Marco, what struck you over the last couple of days here?
So what I found really striking, although it's an experience I had made many years before, is this phenomenon of getting people all together at the same place, basically just focused on a single thing that they're working on. And you're part of this group. It's also extremely beautiful to see students forming these communities, these like micro identities around the specific projects that they're working on. Mm-hmm. This is an experience very characteristic, I think, of this place, because this is a place where I was coming like more than 20 years ago when I was a high school student. And it was exactly the same. So you would work on your own research project, and it would end with you publishing something of a research report at the age of like 16, 17, which is amazing. So basically it's a format that I would generally recommend for the future. So just get people excited about things and then put them in the same place and kind of have some dedicated time working on projects, because then amazing things can happen.
Can you share some inspiring moments from this summer school?
Oh, so yesterday night when we were done, it was about 7:30 with all the students that it's time up, and yet they decided to continue working overtime basically, and they were really motivated and working with so much dynamic energy. It was really inspiring.